Welcome guys, welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about how far we've come and how far we've got left to go. So in this video, it's basically a roundup of everything that we have done so far with this bike, from when we first got to the bike to where we are now with it. So enjoy the video. So when I bought this bike, I had no idea what I was getting myself into or what I was even going to do with it. I had a few ideas from Pinterest and Instagram inspiration, but obviously I wanted to put my own spin on it. As you all know, I built my CB125 and how I wanted that little bike to look. Now this bike, this being a 650, on the other hand, it's hugely different. There's so much more going on, more complex shapes, bigger engine, bigger frame, everything. It's just a bit more of a bigger task. And being a novice builder, I wanted to push myself and see how far I could go with things and also improve my skills along the way. So we're about a year and a half in and I am pretty happy with how things are looking. So the first thing we did, what was the first thing we did? Just like the CB125, we tackled the front end. This front end is off a Triumph Daytona 955i. I had no idea if it was going to fit or not. I just had to make it work and gamble my money away. And with a little bit of research, some threading, tapping, machining some bits for it, we are now here today with this fitted front end, which I think looks great. There's still a bit more to go with it, but only nuts and bolts and little things that needs just tidying up. Now, believe it or not, I did not know if this bike even ran when I bought it. So the next thing I did was give it a full service, charge the battery, and just see if we can get this thing turning over. And to my delight, yes, it ran really, really rough, and a lot of crap came out the exhaust, but it ran, that's the main thing. Once we knew the engine was running, we could now leave that and start work on the bodywork of the bike. So I went on eBay, bought myself a hoop, and got welding. As you noticed, I went with a little 20-degree flick up just to give it a bit of a different stance. It's not to everyone's taste, but I wanted that little bit of a Street Fighter look to it. Moving on from there, my good friend Tom at another Cafe Racer Garage hooked me up and made me some custom rear sets for this bike, and they just look so cool. I'll leave links down below to everyone who's helped out with this build and all the parts that I used so far, just in case you want to do any of these modifications to your bike. Now the next thing was a difficult one for me, and that was the seat hump. I wanted to start making the shape of the seat hump by myself from scratch, just using my imagination and the shape I had in my head, and we started that with florist foam. Now it's not the most ideal thing to use, but it worked, and it worked probably for a one-time use, to be honest. So I wouldn't recommend using that again, but at a pinch you can use it because it's really, really, really cheap. Once we got the shape, we laid down some fiberglass. Now this didn't work out the first time round. We are allowed to make mistakes, not everything goes right the first time, so I come back and did it again, and this time it was a much better finish. Now, after a little bit of shaping and a bit of body filler, we're now sat with the final piece and shape, which I really like the look of because it's only slim but subtle. Not everyone agrees with me, but everyone has their own opinions to how they want their parts to look. But yeah, that's the fun of it. Now, just because I wanted to push my skills a little bit further, I made a seat locating catch. This was not easy, but we managed to make it work, and it's going to be a good thing to have when the bike's all finally finished. Now moving on to the things we did recently, which was fitting the exhaust, the headlight mount, and now creating the acrylic tail light. All these things I'm making are still ongoing and they're not quite finished just yet, but we're getting to the point where I'm figuring it all out, but I'm really positive they're going to work and they're going to look crazy. Now moving on to everything that we've got to look forward to. There's still a long, long way to go, but to be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. There's not many parts left to buy, it's more fabrication and creation things, but I really enjoy those things mostly. We need to trim down the top yoke so it fits nicely with the Moto Go8 Motoscope Mini. We need to finish gluing up the tail light and incorporating some indicators in that section. We need to make a tip and silencer for the exhaust system. Again, this is only going to be something small but subtle. The front mudguard, this is something I'm going to probably make from scratch for myself, but that won't be till a bit further on down the line. Once we've got the engine out, we need to get the oil cooler sorted out because I've got a brand new oil cooler for it. Welding in all the electric trays and getting that in their final position. But yeah, I can't do any of that until the engine is out, which will probably be happening in the next month or two. and I'm not looking forward to that because of the size of the thing. It's not like the CB where you can just whip it out. This is a two-man job. And all being well, I'm gonna make some custom hand grips out of leather. Once we've got the engine out, once we've got the frame bare, we're gonna take all the tabs off, clean it all up real nicely and just get it to exactly what we need. Properly weld everything in place and make it nice and smooth. Because at the moment there's a lot of horrible welding, thanks to me, but we'll get it all sorted, don't worry. And then it'll be moving on to powder coating, painting, graphics, and just everything that's gonna make this bike what it is, because we are nowhere near finished. Because believe me, you won't have ever seen an XJ650 quite like this one when it's finished. So there you have it guys, it's only a short video, a bit more of an update as to what's going on and what direction we're moving in. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will happily answer them. All your input is always appreciated. And as always, I shall see you in the next video. Peace.